welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday, July 3rd, 2020. I'm Crypto Jack, sitting in for the vacationing Justin Wise, and I'm joined by our senior analyst, Alex. How you doing today, Alex?
I'm great. Thanks, Jack.
Today, we're going to be reviewing the markets and taking a brief look at some of the news stories in crypto. And Alex, of course, will take us through the charts and analysis of what's going on in the markets today. So, Alex, tell us about Bitcoin and some of the others. What's going on today?
Lots of big news happening on the markets today. Not so much with Bitcoin specifically. In fact, I would say that Bitcoin's sideways movement is the big driver for everything that we've been going through over the over the last week or so. Well, last few months actually, with the alts pumping. So let's just dive right in and focus on Bitcoin specifically, and then we can zoom out to the broader alt markets.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, last week we had been discussing this order block right here, which is kind of between 9,300 and 9,000 area. And over the previous intervening, I would say month and a half, this area had been heavy support. So, as you can see, we've dumped into this area again and again and again, held support. And we lifted off support here and were rejected from this 10K resistance one final time. Well, 10K resistance area. This is actually, 9,600 that we rejected from. So, we've broken down, and while we've broken down, we have still stayed within this order block, this 9K to 9,300 order block for, what is this, roughly, this is July 24th. So a week and a half now, we have been just sideways inside of this order block. In fact, I heard someone say the other day that every time they look at the market, it's like $9,100, $9,150, $9,150 right now. Yeah, and it's just been that all week long. Like if you're trying to, I'm sure that there's plenty of scalps on the 15-minute that have been going on right now, and I know there've been some people who've been like sort of successful, but man, this is a pretty hard range to trade. You start getting a direction that you think you're going to go in. Like, oh, hey, we're breaking down here. I think it's time to go short. You go short. Boom. Maybe you hit take profit one here, and you're like, huh, what do I do here? Oh, wait. Oh, we're going back up. Oh, maybe I'll go long again here. Do you get shaken out here? Possibly. And then by the time I would say retail is considering like, yeah, it's time to go long, guys. Let's go long. Getting faked out again, dumping back down to 9K. Now, I would say things are probably more bullish than you might imagine. We were making higher lows here. So this is see where this is? This is a higher low. This is a higher low from here. These are still technically higher lows, but we've got lower highs. So overall, we're still looking bearish. Until we get back over, I want to say 9,500, 9,600, and especially, obviously we can get over 10K, then just long the heck out of that. But who knows when that's going to be. So, looking here at some potential future, we're in this order block right here. There's a point of control right in this area that I would like to see us. There we go. That I would like to see us test right here. Let me draw a little line right here. So that's why I don't have my crosshairs on. That's why I can't see this. So you see right here, we've already tapped this point of control. The once we're hanging out inside of this order block, I would like to see us tap it at least one more time. Now, if we broke below the 8,600 area, then I would expect just a free fall down to the 7.5 area, maybe the 7K area. And that makes a lot of sense. Everybody's been saying, the Bollinger Bands are squeezing. ATR is very minuscule right now. So whatever movement happens, it's going to be a big movement once Bitcoin starts to move. So, like I said, if we break the 8,600, then just like Bitcoin is going to get the smack down to this level. And then we've got a couple possible retracement levels that we can look at here. We've got the 7,500 area That's a nice little order block to look for. There was an awful lot of accumulation and distribution in this area right here. So we broke up here, and they did some selling here. But there was a lot of buying in this area too. I wish I could zoom in and show you at that time, but it's honestly it's more time consuming than it's worth to go back and show you that.
All good.
Uh,
All good.
yeah, and then finally there's this retracement area down here, which is like I would say really a bearish case. So the 6K area has been a very strong attractor. It seems to be the fair market price for Bitcoin. For us to get down and trade in this 5K range, it just seems kind of unlikely. Price has been so bullish. We've had so many buyers in this area. Sellers haven't been able to really make very much headway. Certainly, I got wrecked several times trying to short this area right here. I got wrecked trying to short this area right here. I think you got to overall look at the market and say, the market's telling us there's so much interest in crypto right now. Maybe Bitcoin not right at this second, but the interest is there. USDT Tether making new all-time highs market cap. There's still money pouring in, even if the money is not currently pouring in to Bitcoin. So enough about Bitcoin right now. Let's go out into the broader alt market. So Ethereum. Where is it? Here we go. So been looking at this order block right here, which was heavy resistance. And it's currently looking like we might be facing resistance turned support. So we have not been able to breach the order block between roughly 225 and 210. Yeah, this $15 order block right here. So I have here a little trend line sketched out here where we're under the trend line. We break up. Now we're staying over the trend line. We're back under it. So I think we're probably more bearish here than bullish. Especially because we're looking at the USD pairing. These things they tend to follow Bitcoin. If we broke back up above this line, that would be bearish as long as we stay underneath it. And we could stay underneath it for several days. We just kind of like slowly move upwards here, kind of fill in this area and break back down, and then down in this area right here. But if we broke above, let's say 245, 250 at all, along with extreme discretion, I would imagine we quickly move up to 280, and then of course we'd want to see if we could make a real assault on 300 right here. But that would remain to be seen. Right now, this is the order block to focus on. As long as we're above it, still kind of bullish. But this trend line, I think, is the one to watch for.
Yeah, Ethereum seems to be underperforming basically Bitcoin and many other coins in the last few weeks. So I don't know if that's a bearish case right now or if that's an indication that it's gonna be prepared to move up. But
Yeah.
maybe
It's
DeFi has
been
been
trading sideways.
yeah, has DeFi
Mhm.
maybe been overshadowing a bit of the Ethereum
Pardon me?
luster. The DeFi, the case for DeFi, right? Maybe that's been overshadowing Ethereum's luster rate recently.
Well, you have to buy Ethereum to buy a lot of these ERC20 tokens, and I think overall the DeFi boom is good for Ethereum. Although I wish we were seeing more of that in Ethereum's price. Right now, I mean, we've basically been trading sideways against Bitcoin, so Ethereum's price action is very similar to Bitcoin's price action for I'd say the majority of June right here. As you can see, that's basically sideways. So
Really strange because usage and daily transactions on Ethereum are pretty much at record highs, and yet the price really isn't reflecting that. So we're not really seeing that kind of the boom in the price like the way the ICO excitement did back in 2017. But
So I don't know. This, when you look at it on the weekly, this looks pretty bullish right here, especially if we get this close. Now, again, I mentioned to you guys the other week, if we can close above this level, this is around 25, 200. If we can close above this level convincingly, then you should just long this with extreme prejudice. We're more than likely going to be up in this area right here. This is a 20% move, 25% move. All the way at the top here, this is a 40% move. And as you can see, if you zoom out, this area right here, big area of consolidation. Price wants to move to this area. We just we're just not quite there yet on we're not quite there yet on Ethereum. And so, sorry, go ahead, John.
I did read one article today talking about, again, trying to correlate the daily active addresses along with daily transactions on Ethereum, and they did make a case for the last time Ethereum's network activity was at this level, preceded a price decline. So I did read an interesting article that tried to make the case that based on the network metrics, we're about to see a big dip in Ethereum. Take that for what it is.
Gosh, I just don't know. I'm much more of a technical trader than I am a fundamentals trader.
Absolutely.
Fundamentals matter a lot, but also, human psychology matters more. We certainly see that in the broader market, where I think most people would say like these valuations are crazy against these fundamentals, but price keeps going. The Federal Reserve is printing money. Money's got to go somewhere. All right, so let's look a little bit more. I want to just take a longer term view on a lot of these alts because we don't have a lot of time to do a full analysis of every single alt.
Right.
BCH, we have been looking at this as a great entry area. This honestly, this past weekly close was kind of scary. I considered exiting out of our BCH position because we are under support. We are still under support. You can see this here. That this had been kind of the bottom right here, and then Sunday we broke down below it, and this entire week we've traded below this support. But this area has been just such a strong bottom area. I had a soft stop set, which it didn't get hit either way. We didn't close below a soft stop, and had it been hard, it wouldn't get hit either. Down at 2,300, and it just missed it, as you can see. This area has been strong, so you can see this is a great spot here for picking up Litecoin. I was mentioning this fantastic range trade on the table for Litecoin. Buy in this area, sell up in this area. Looking on the weekly, if we do get an upward movement from here, this is going to print a strong weekly divergence. Yes. So EOS, similar story. XRP, this one, man. So I was stopped out here, stopped out here, stopped out here. And man, the spot looks even better. And I want to go into, but I swore that I would not re-enter XRP until we got some kind of break of this wedging formation right here. So maybe it'll be tomorrow. Maybe we'll break back down again. I don't know what's going to happen with XRP, but I'm telling you guys, these major alts are starting to look like they're ready to join the minor alts here. We're in a Tron long here because we got a signal on Justin's breaking Bitcoin system.
And you're a glutton for punishment when it comes to XRP, though. Jeez.
It looks really good. I don't know. I should really be more in the major alts or in the minor alts, which are like already moving. I mentioned before, strength begets strength, weakness begets weakness, and we've seen that. The minor alts have just been banging for a month and a half. And for a month and a half, the major alts have done almost literally nothing. So let's take a look here. Bitcoin dominance. It's been, I want to say it's been more sideways, but we're starting to make new lows now, just today. And that is because Bitcoin, as I mentioned, has continued trading sideways. But altcoins are putting in more gains. Mid caps are putting in more gains. Shitcoins continuing to put in more gains. Exchange coins, I would say trading sideways with Bitcoin. Privacy coins have been doing not as well. Although I do want to point out, while we're on the subject of privacy coins, let's go on over to XMR. This is something I was looking at yesterday. So I had an alert set for this area right here that price would just not close above. It just wouldn't. And we've been stuck down in this area since May. And just yesterday, price closed above it. So I went ahead and I took an XMR Bitcoin long. Now, what does this look like on the weekly? This is a pretty nice looking area to be picking up XMR from, if you ask me. So this is near the bottom of the range. We seem to have found support here. And as you know, we have just broken above this resistance that we have been stuck below for about a month and a half now. So I took along here and I used Quadrigo, set it for 1 ATR, and I'm just gonna take it and see where it goes from there. I said this is resistance that has held for quite a while, that is broken. I'm gonna take an entry on it. Oh, and of course, we had a full entry from the rest of the system, with Paralocks and everything. So, and finally, let's go on over here and look at DeFi, which I'm gonna have to turn off our baseline because we just don't have enough data. Which DeFi is just so far ahead of anything else. Yeah. So I tell you what, why don't we go over to the news for a while? I think that's a good look at the broader markets. Right now, guys, shitcoins are where it's at. Unfortunately, altcoins are still winding up, and we may see better movements on those in this upcoming week. As you see, we're finally getting movements off the bottom, but we may need to see actual gains on these alts before we see people start pouring their money into them. There's been great news released on Litecoin about their Mimblewimble implementation. That should be coming out in September or so. But until we start getting a little bit closer, people's eyes are on the shiny shitcoins. So, why don't I turn things over to you for a little bit, Jack? And then if we have time, we can go over the alts a little bit more. But for now, why don't we discuss the news?
Sounds good. Let's do it. All right, let's take a look here. All right, so there's a grocery store chain major popular in the Midwest, and they recently announced they're going to stop accepting cash, and there's a nationwide coin shortage continues to erupt. So
This is pronounced Meyer.
is it? I thought it was major. Maybe it is Meyer. I mean, I'm not from the Midwest. Maybe somebody.
Well, Meyer is not a Midwest name.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But so yeah, the supermarket chain based in Walker, Michigan, announced last Friday that self-serve checkout machines at 250 other supercenters would accept only credit card and debit cards and other electronic forms of payment. And this is still something that's been kind of like reverberating around across the entire American economy. Like cash seems to be in the decline, coin shortage seemingly being reported all around the nation. And funny enough, go figure, the U.S. senators had a bit of a committee hearing last week, or was it earlier this week? Again, exploring the topic of the U.S. digital dollar. So U.S. senators posed questions to a panel of witnesses on the topic of stablecoins and digitized dollar during a virtual meeting on Capitol Hill on Tuesday. And the hearing did offer a window into how key U.S. legislators are going to view these areas, and it's going to potentially spur further work on digitizing the U.S. dollar. So I think this is a trend firmly firmly underway. Like we're going to see the between this whole COVID disaster and just
Mhm.
maybe the direction the economy seems to be taking. I think it's inevitable that we're going to explore the topic of digital currencies and the digital US dollar. Of course, you had former CFTC chair Chris Giancarlo there. You had Paxos CEO Charles Cascartilla and Luke Law School professor Nikita Coutinho, who were, of course, presenting as expert witnesses in front of the Senate. So it seems that work is full steam ahead on having the senators, interested in understanding how digital currency is going to work and how they could potentially approve this whole project moving forward. I don't know if you have any thoughts, Alex, on a digital currency horizon up ahead.
Well, I mean, it's definitely the year of the CBDC. Just yesterday, Japan also announced that they were looking
That's
into
right.
creating a CBDC. So it just sort of seems like the perfect storm of reasons for this to be the year of CBDC. The economy is it is what it is. We all know what's going on, so I don't really need to go that in depth about what's going on with COVID. But central banks across the world are printing money and trying to figure out how to get the money to where it needs to go. The ways in which it's printing money is of course already abstract and esoteric. There's not an actual printing machine. It's just like man, this thing's overheating right now. We're printing so many actual dollar bills. That's I mean that's not quite what we mean when money printer goes burr. It's actually of course bonds being borrowed, creating assets, the Treasury Reserve, and the Federal Reserve accepting assets onto the balance sheet. Anyway, it's this thing. So a digital dollar would, in many ways, I think, help the Fed and other central banks across the world, because all these central banks are looking at this, get when it prints money in the ways that central banks print monies, uh, get there where it needs to go. So with a digital dollar, you can imagine that it would be much easier for a stimulus money to be dispersed. It would pretty much be a matter of like, okay, we're just going to add an extra zero on everybody's bank accounts.
Okay.
Here's your new digital dollars. We um,
Yeah,
obviously a
some of
little
the
simplistic, but
senators expressed obviously a bit of skepticism, right? I think they had
mhm.
like Senator Brown claim that historically big tech companies aren't always able to deliver on their ambitious promises. So there was a bit of skepticism there, and of course there was concerns that this is going to potentially shut out commercial banking, right? So I don't. Maybe potentially to protect some of their their interest or look after some of their high-paid Wall Street lobbyists, but clearly there was a bit of a concern expressed that mainstream financial institutions may be in trouble or may find this difficult to find their new place in this like evolving fintech world of money meeting, you know, big tech, right?
Mhm.
All right, let's check out our next story. This is something you linked me to earlier. Venezuela's Maduro was denied access to the gold storage that they have in the UK vaults. So Venezuela
Yeah. So
allegedly. Yep. Sorry, go on.
yeah. So Justin had talked about this a couple weeks back, and our faithful viewers will remember this. So the background of this story is that essentially Venezuela had stored their real physical gold in England, in like the Bank of England. That way, nothing can happen to it. It's like England, London in particular, is one of the financial centers of the world. London in particular is right up there with New York City. It's basically London, New York City, Singapore, Hong Kong, and a few others. That's it. So they're storing their gold with the Bank of England, and then Maduro is like, okay, Venezuela is kind of in a bad way right now. What with all the stuff that we all know, whether you think it's caused by socialism or the collapse of the price of oil, or corruption in the government. I mean, sure, there's myriad reasons why what's going on in Venezuela is going on, but nonetheless, so Maduro goes and it's like, okay, we Venezuela would like our money back now so that we can, use it. And Bank of England's like, no. And the reason Bank of England was like, no, was because they're like, we think you, Maduro, are an illegitimate ruler of the country, and you, as illegitimate ruler, are not allowed to access this money because this money is Venezuela's money. And we think you're going to like steal the money and give it to your friends, and then Venezuela's not going to get it. And the next president is going to come around and be like, what happened to Venezuela's money? And I mean, we to be fair, we do see this in lots of third world countries where corruption is such that any money that's loaned to the country by IMF, or any assets that's owned by the company, or that's owned by the country, is really distributed amongst the oligarchs, and then it's not actually used for infrastructure or anything like that. So that's the background of the story. Please continue, Jack.
True, but something to be said of potentially he is the leader of the country, and maybe this whole thing seems like an exercise in an ongoing kind of sanctions and these other interventions and attempting to
Yeah.
topple the government, right? So it's certainly a bit of a sticky situation. It's hard to imagine that if he is the sovereign leader of this nation, that you could necessarily just deny him that. But like I said, it is part of like an ongoing British and U.S. sanction effort
Yeah,
on the country.
apparently you can, because this was the appeal. So that was the previous
Yep.
story, and then this is the follow up. So so Maduro, in this story that the Jack's presenting, Maduro appeals. He's like, this is wrong. This is our country's money. Give us our money. It's not your job to decide who the legitimate ruler of Venezuela is. Venezuela decided that when they elected me, which I think is a fair argument. Although maybe you could say he stole the election or something like that, but can you prove that? Um, so anyway, and then the appeal, it basically was like, no, we're definitely keeping this money for now.
Indeed, it does make a case for why maybe here's where Bitcoin may have a bit of an advantage, because when it comes to storing large amounts of gold, it does require the help of facilities or locations or vaults and entities around the world like you described. So Bitcoin, on the other hand, of course, can sit in direct control of the government, easy to store relatively compared to gold, and you can of course store hundreds of millions of dollars or more easily with just your private key storage. So um, so it does kind of remind us that Bitcoin storage is in some ways, far superior to gold. It's a topic we covered earlier this week in our
Mhm.
that whole fake gold story, of course. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin, and whereas with gold, it
Not your
can
physical
be,
storage space, not your gold.
yep, precisely.
Buy Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin fixes this.
All right, let's check out the next story. Cardano, of course, partnering with Coinbase to allow users to store and stake ADA. So users of Cardano's cryptocurrency ADA will be able to store their funds without compromising their ability to participate in the network. So Cardano teaming up with Coinbase Custody to store ADA funds, and it's also going to allow, through the partnership, to allow users to collect staking rewards and participate potentially even in governance. So this is, of course, after Cardano's Shelley platform upgrade was rolled out this week. So it seems like things are full steam ahead at Cardano right now.
We're getting a nice little Coinbase pump on ADA today from this
Right.
news.
That's
ADA
what I
currently
figured.
up about 6-8% on the news, and of course, this chart was already looking rather bullish. I believe if Justin were here today, he would point out that his second take profit had been hit and things were looking very nicely, and he'd put on a sailing stop or something like that. But he's not here to say that, so I will have to say it for him.
But yeah, welcome Jason to the stream.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
welcome.
So
But
yes, Jason's joined us now. So yeah, the Cardano news.
Cardano news, indeed. What do you? Yeah, maybe that's a good segue to get back into the alts. You want to maybe start with the ADA chart? Let's take a look how that trade worked out. You said we just hit a take profit on Justin's ADA call.
Yes, sure. So here, we can go over here and look at we can do a review of the altcoin market now. So tell you what, guys, let me go ahead here and open up our daily scan stuff rather than my own personal charting stuff, and then that way we can talk about the markets in in a manner that Justin's kind of trained you guys to understand it. So, all right, large sat alt market. Let's do a rundown. Neo Bitcoin, definitely not there yet. We're seeing some. So this area right here has been a strong consolidation area. As you can see, we've got a breakout and then a retest of this area. Wouldn't be surprised for us to see us start to move up here on Neo, especially because just the market as a whole has been trending upwards, and I think that should be a safe assumption going forward that alts are going to want to move upwards. So when we do our analysis, we've got to kind of take a look at areas like, okay, well, where would price pull back to, and then where will it go to from there once it's reached those areas. So rep, boom. At the end of the day, we will not quite be getting a signal to go long. We're getting a no trade due to a candle size violation. So this candle size right here is larger than ATR. So it's not going to let us enter here. Most likely we'll get a pullback, and then tomorrow we'll have an entry on rep. So let's go ahead and set that on our watch list right here. So otherwise, it looks good. We've got Parallax, we've got WADA. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for a pullback here. Hopefully, we'll end up here, and then we'll be good to go on rip. Bitcoin Gold looks like shit. BNB not there yet. Still hanging around our lows right here. Chart looks a lot like EOS and Litecoin. Those are the ones this reminds me of. DCR. I like this area to begin picking up some more DCR. So see, what does DCR look like here on the weekly? I want to see a reaction rather than just, trying to pick up an order block here. But this area is still really good. I do like picking it up in this area. ZEC, more sideways movement. We've continued to stay above resistance right here. Like this area right here is it's kind of 5,600. Yeah. Resistance, support. I like it, but I'd like to see a reaction off of that bottom. XMR, I talked about with you guys a little bit earlier. Break of significant resistance set off my alert. Litecoin reaction off the bottom, but we're not there yet. We don't have a signal here. We're still underneath the baseline. Anytime Dash, come on. There we go. Dash is looking pretty flaccid right here. It's just I don't see a reaction off any bottom right here. Let's take a look at the weekly right here. We're underneath the support. We could get more of a pullback on Dash, maybe to around this area right here. So I wouldn't want to short this area or anything like that, but it doesn't feel like we're ready to long Dash yet. Bitcoin, we want a weekly close above this 25,300 area. I mentioned this to you guys earlier in the show. Once we do, it's looking banger. Gosh. If we could just get a weekly close above here, just long it all day long. Got bullish parallax on the weekly. Oh, it looks great. All right. Mid sats. Let's look. So large sats, as we know, have not been moving very much with regards to its movement against Bitcoin. Mid sats have been doing better. I like to start at the bottom of the list here. CTCX. It's not there. We're actually long on this. We got a long signal, continuation long signal here. And we probably hit take profit 2 today. Let's look at this on the weekly. Oof. Hello, nurse. So, yeah, we kind of nailed this entry. Yes, we did get stopped out the once here, but we're long here. We've made up for that stop out, and I'm going to set a trailing stop after this to see how long we can take that. STX, block stack, not there yet. We got distribution. Yeah. Algo, not quite there yet. Looking a little bit like DCR. We've got that. We've got some consolidation above resistance, and then a slight breakdown below resistance. But nothing really so bearish that we like, oh, I need to throw short on this. OGN, not there. Hive, not a lot of data, but it looks like we're finally getting a baseline here, and we're below it. So nope. Tomo, oof, this was looking good. I missed the Tomo entry here. I could have gone long here, but I forget what happened that day. I think. Oh wait, this was a weekend day. I didn't. I was waiting for a weekday to enter, and I missed it. I missed out. So far, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get any signal on Tomo chain because we're above the continuation filter, we're above the baseline, we're above the initiation line. We would need a more significant pullback before we would be able to enter on Tomo. I don't see us getting that. Beam is one of the privacy coins that I mentioned has not been doing well versus Bitcoin. We got things were bullish, and then after distributing, we just broke right back down. What's a good place to look for a re-entry here? Let me look on the weekly. Yeah, definitely a pullback to like 380, maybe a wick through to this area, and then see what happens here. Beam's not ready yet, definitely not. Sol. So this is a newer shitcoin that was listed on Binance recently. I missed this one because we kind of like couldn't take trades on it until right before the baseline. Anyway, it's sad because on the daily, this has been a real stunner. It went up from 53 up to 9K, about 100% move right here. We could have stayed in, but there just wasn't enough data really to get in on this. Band. I like this area for maybe one more pullback down to this area right here, which is a point of control. I think if we were to pull out VPVR right here. Whoops. Hold on. Yep. But overall, yeah, we're if you see, we're getting we're not getting a lot of momentum here on this drop. I like this area right here for the final pullback. Not a lot of volume here on sellers. XTZ continuing to drop. I put on a 3-day short of XTC. Here we go. On the break of this area right here, things have just been pretty bullish here. So continuing to drop here. Not sure where we should expect a pullback, at least to here. I would think maybe this area right here. I like this area. Continue on to like around 2,500. FTT got a long on this one. Kind of hanging around here. So we actually didn't end up going into this one because the sheet was broken on that day, but
Parallax wasn't there.
Yeah, but you don't need parallax necessarily for continuation long.
Oh,
but
continuation. Okay, you're using the BB indicator.
Yeah. So Zen, if you remember a little while back, this is really the accumulation area that we were looking at. I did go long once we were in this area. We hit take profit 1, got stopped back out. Kind of waiting to see what happens here. Maybe we get one more pullback down to this area right here. But I still like Zen. But Zen is a privacy coin, which, as we mentioned, has not been doing well here. Ethereum Classic, nowhere near taken. Dcoin, nowhere near taken. EOS. We don't have parallax confirmation here. Otherwise, EOS looks good. We're getting WADA confirmation. MCO. Ooh. Unfortunately, things have been so bearish that parallax just isn't there yet. And it might not get there in time. If we get above this qualifying line, it might get away from us. But MCO is looking pretty good here. And I think Justin is already long on it from this area right here.
They're recovering from the Wirecard scandal too, as well. And
Yeah.
I do believe there was some news that came out earlier that the Wirecard UK subsidiary might be having their services restored. So might
I saw
actually
that, yeah.
be, yeah, wonderful.
So, Adam, it is there. We will be getting a signal on daily close. I just put this on my watch list to call at the end of the day. Looking at this one, this is actually this is a great area to be long in, I think. Let's all right, guys. Let me take a look at this on a higher time frame here. Oh, look at this. Who doesn't want to be long this area on Adam right here? And we're getting a long signal, guys. That looks beautiful. So yeah, this looks really beautiful. So Adam looks like it's going to be a killer trade. We're getting a long signal. So something to look at, guys. GBT, not there yet. Qtum. So Qtum is kind of interesting here. This is, let's see, actually, so this only makes sense on the daily. You know, I don't think this trend line actually makes that much sense, even though we have been bouncing off of it. But it was just something I was kind of playing around with. It's neither here nor there. I don't like it yet. We're not there yet on Qtum. Gas, we got stopped out of this one. We had a signal right here, and just didn't make it. Loon, we're not there yet, although we will be able to get continuation signal here because we've had a significant enough pullback. Waves, we're not there yet. Walton, not there yet. OMG, not there yet. Lisk, nope. Skycoin, nope. Nano, nope. Although, I do kind of like this this area right here. We don't seem to be able to make any new lows right here. All right, so that was resistance. Now it's support. Could be, guys. ONT not there yet. HC not there yet. Neville not there yet. GXS not there yet. Not there yet. Not there yet. Oh, this is here yet. So let's talk Link for a second, guys, because this is looking really interesting. Let's zoom out here for a second. On the weekly, is Link in the process of making a new all-time high? Yeah, you bet your ass Link is in the process of making an new all-time high. So, by the way, let's go back. Getting a weekly parallax signal, getting a weekly WADA ATAR signal. And this is going to close in a couple days, guys. We're not necessarily there yet on the WADA, but we are there for parallax. We got that last week. Let's go back down to the daily. So, as we are breaking this all-time high, we are getting a signal, a continuation signal. We're getting a parallax signal, and we're getting a WADA signal on the daily, all while we make an assault on the all-time high. So, you know, I put in a, I opened up a trade yesterday for our premium members. I don't think we hit take profit one yet. As you can see, we haven't had much movement today. But things look so inordinately bullish here. Gosh, long Link, guys. Long Link. It's just, it looks so good right here. Yeah.
Link looks super promising. I also heard they recently announced they're going to be dedicating more money to development than Ethereum platform is getting. So, I think that sounds extremely promising.
Well, you know, I guess that shouldn't be surprising because Ethereum is kind of like a public open source project, and Chainlink is a privately run project and centralized. So, you know, they've got more capital to work with. And yeah, so Link is going to be putting more money in. So something to think about, guys.
Money talks.
Yeah, money talks. MDA, not there yet, but I do like this spot because this spot is previously poured over here. Now we're getting support here. It's not a bad place to be picking it up, especially because, I mean, hold on. Kind of blocking our volume here, but here we go. We're not getting a lot of bearish volume. Although this fake out up into resistance is not promising. Strat not there. Okay, so guys, I need to make a confession. We had a valid signal on BNT here, but I did not take it because Parallax wasn't there and WADA wasn't there, and I figured, maybe it'll pull back just a little bit more and we'll get the signal. And then when we finally got the signal, we were above the qualifying line and we just kept going. So totally on me. We should, by all rights, be in BNT right now, especially because it's one of the DeFi coins that have been doing so good versus the market. But I whiffed it, guys. Scared money doesn't make money. Had a signal, I didn't take it. So Via, not there. Nulls. So I actually did call Nulls USDT the other day because the Bitcoin pairing was looking bullish, but we couldn't get a signal. But we got this signal on Nulls USDT. But the sheet was down, so I don't know. Maybe I'll recall it. This is still valid enough.
Still a fresh signal today with water rising.
Yeah, we're getting fresh water confirmation. We've broken resistance, and we've yeah.
That'll probably be a good one at close.
Yeah. So, and then finally, low sat coins, and these are the ones that are doing the best right now. So, CTSI, we're finally getting a baseline, but not above it yet. BitShares, not there yet. Ardor, ooh, I do like this. It looks like we're starting to get a reaction off of support here. What I would love to do is take out time transformation and then maybe stake out along once we get a time transformation break here, guys. So something to look at. AppCoin, oof, starting to look pretty good there. It looks like we've held above resistance here. Resistance turns support. I really love this. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, that definitely looks like it's consolidating there. And I mean, with where it at, I mean, it's not our system like on how you'd take it, but I would feel comfortable placing a small order at that resistance level where it just tapped.
Yeah, and actually, this resistance right here was so strong. I'm gonna set an alert, and if we close above 460, 463, I'm just gonna long it, even though we're not quite at that initiation level. That's
Yeah,
really right there.
that's worth a punt.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna add alert right there. Only once daily. Yeah, that's good. All right. Consolidation level here, broke above it, back down to retest consolidation level. Really like that right here. And then this entire area is really resistance turn support. You can see that right there. Consolidation in this area, resistance here, support here. Looks kind of strong here for cis guys. Loom, similar story, although this looks, maybe we'll drop down to this area right here.
Yeah, that doesn't look as tight as the other one.
Oof. I wish we had pulled back more on LRC, but we don't have a signal yet. We're just starting to get parallax confirmation. Maybe we'll pull back a little bit here, and then we cross the baseline. We can finally take this.
I think it's gonna tap that baseline, then pull back again.
Yeah, could be.
Same case.
This looks phenomenal here. Break above resistance, come back down to test resistance, turn support, continue onwards. Ravencoin, yes. So Ravencoin is interesting here because it got hacked last night.
Oh, it did?
Yes, Ravencoin. And you can probably speak to this better than I can, Jack. So.
Yeah, there was an exploit that took place last night on Ravencoin. Somebody produced about $5 million worth of new Ravencoin tokens out of thin air. So it was a bit of an inflation supply bug. That accounts, I think, for about about 2% of their total supply was just inflated out of thin air. So a bit of an exploit, but I don't know if the price has really reacted sharply off of that. It seems to just be the same old.
I mean, it's down 1% today on 2% inflation. So I imagine that the market actually hasn't really reacted all that much.
Yeah, not all that much. So who knows? Maybe, I don't know if the devs are going to be releasing something, but I guess we'll wait to see what comes of that. But it is an unfortunate circumstance.
Is it almost that it's the lowest it's ever been?
I don't think the lowest it's ever been, but let's look back. Turn off baseline for a second here. It is tapping at all-time lows, yeah.
Mhm.
But we're also not seeing a lot of bearish volume right here. But of course, if we did end up below, like the 200 range, and we're closing down in here, let's say below 190, cancel all orders, get the fuck out, guys.
Yeah, there's something up if that's what happens.
Yeah, it's the same as it was with Link. If you see something starting to make a new all-time low, just get the fuck out. And if you see something starting to make a new all-time high, get the fuck in.
Actually, I'm going to read the statement from the Raven team. This is actually kind of sums it up. The vulnerability does not allow for the stealing of Raven or other assets that you own and control, but the minting did create Raven that should not exist. We've discussed the impact of the extra Raven and what can be done. Because those Raven were transferred to an exchange and traded, they are mixed with other Raven, and therefore any programmatic attempt to burning them with minor and community backing would cause irreparable harm to innocent victims. So in other words, we got to take it. The coins have already been mixed and sold to some degree, and unfortunately, gentlemen, that's just how it goes. We're going to have to, hopefully learn and move on.
That's a huge vulnerability, though.
Yeah, it was something to do with the Coinbase reward. So typically every block, I think, rewards about 5,000 Raven per block, but they were managed to somehow circumvent that, and they minted 315 million Raven coins in a single block reward. So, oof.
Well, I mean, someone's gonna end up finding your vulnerabilities, right?
Yeah, it counts to about 1.5% of the total supply. So I think like Raven community is gonna have to accept it and move on.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
way to really burn it now.
yeah, with that kind of news, that's something that would make me stay away from Raven for a little bit to see what happens.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
And might be able to pick up some really cheap Raven.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, I guess onwards. Yeah, so that was Raven. It's just it's not there, and I would stay away from it for the moment.
Yep.
Mana, not there yet. Ooh, so quite a day for MTH right here. I don't know why, but that was a strong reaction. So this area right here, consolidation, break above it, retest the consolidation area.
And I almost
we'll
like
probably be
that
getting signal tomorrow or the day after on MTH.
I almost like that for a baseline continuation short, but
I don't know. We got such a strong reaction off of this area of consolidation. I don't know about shorting. Well, first of all, you can't short MTH, but
okay.
Yeah, but also, even if you could, I don't know. Right now, it just seems like shorting altcoins is getting in front of a steamroller. They keep moving up.
Yeah.
AMB, pull back to this consolidation area right here. Yeah, I like that. Pull back to there and then continuation. AGI, I still really like this. I think what we have here is an inverse head and shoulders, break consolidation right here at the, kind of at the top of the shoulders. Then we'll get a completion of that.
Just a throwback.
Yep. Pretty typical, standard. Vibe. Looks like a lot of them. We pulled back to this consolidation area, and then it looks like we're going to get a continuation here.
Seems to be the most common chart.
Yeah. So we are. I think we're still long this actually, although maybe we shouldn't be. But so vibe here. Let's look at this on the 3-day. So that hopefully you can see why I decided to stay long on this. So we are above major resistance here. We have closed above it on the 3-day. We've closed above it. This, this resistance turn support here, also on the 3-day. but we're just kind of hanging around this entry. We entered here. We had, as you can see, we had a full entry right here. Moved up and then pulled back, and we're just kind of hanging right here. We did not get an exit signal, and although we did close below the baseline, and often I take that as an exit signal. Because of those 3-day closes, I used a little bit of discretion here, and I kept us in this trade yesterday. But I definitely debated with myself for about 10 minutes about whether or not I was going to dump this trade. And today we've had a little bit of upward movement. I don't know. We'll see. I would hate to stop us out here and take a loss here. We don't have to. But I don't know. I think this looks bullish, right? So, I mean, this is the bottom here. Previous bottom. We got to bounce off of it. We're closing above resistance. So we got to pull back.
I agree. I think that's a good one to stay in. I think that'll take off.
QLC, we're getting the pullback now. So I would imagine we would end up probably back in this area right here. And continuation long. AST, not there yet. CMT, not quite there yet. I think we'll do a hesitation here for a few days, like we saw in some of the other alts, and then probably onwards. Ren, ooh, that's there. Probably at the end of today's close, it will be worth taking. Is there a Ren USDT or something like that? Boom. Continuation signal. We'll have WADA confirmation. Parallax not there, but I'm going to take this. Let's put that on the watch list for this afternoon.
Ren looks good.
Yeah, and it's because Bitcoin has been lagging that the USDT pairs are lagging the Bitcoin pairings. And so when I see a very bullish Bitcoin pairing, I think, well, the USDT pairing might be behind it, and maybe I can catch that one. And in that case, that is what happened. So just want to explain to you guys, why I went and checked the USDT pair like that. Because Ren Bitcoin, we don't have a signal. We stayed above the continuation level, and there's no place for us to enter here. All right, so POA held above resistance, but I think not quite there yet. Maybe there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be probably a signal tomorrow.
It's still, I don't know. Replio has been bearish this whole time. That other alts have been bullish, and that gives me pause. But it could just be on another cycle, although I don't for the life of me understand why.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a bad area to pick it up. This is previous resistance. Like this whole area right here is resistance consolidation. We've retested it. We would at least move back up, I think, to retest 800. I can see that. There's a long here, guys. There's a long here, and that's a good 50% move right here. That's not nothing. Matic, we're short Matic actually. We were short from here. Took profit here. Probably going to get stopped out today, I would imagine. But I still don't like Matic here for a long. Even a reversal long. I mean, I guess it could make some sense. We've got resistance here, turn support, held above it. I just don't like it.
It's just it's really choppy.
Yeah. It's just not there yet, guys. Give Matic a little bit of time. There's other things to look at, like Link and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
TRX, it's looking ready. We took the long here. Although Link was another one where I was skeptical. Tron was another one where I was skeptical. We got the long here. I was like, I don't know about long and Tron. But I looked at Tron USDT, and while we didn't have a signal on it, it did look relatively strong. So I Am I typing this wrong? Did I spell Tron wrong? What do you mean there's no Tron USDT? That's fake news.
Yeah, what's going on?
TRX, duh.
Yeah, that was okay.
All right, guys. Sorry, brain fart. Forgive me.
That is a signal yesterday.
You know what? We did have a signal on the same day. I took the Tron Bitcoin signal, and I guess because the Bitcoin pairings have been stronger than USDT pairings, I took the Bitcoin pairing, and it's just as well because we've already hit take profit 1 on Tron Bitcoin, and Tron USDT is kind of languishing. All right, so, all right, guys, final push through here. Let's finish up our shitcoins here. GTO, potential reversal along here does not look bad. I like that we've crossed, we've gotten an exit signal, we've crossed above here. Potential. Sun M. This was strong resistance, and now we've gotten strong support here with consolidation. Now we're moving above here. This is a good long signal, probably, as far as a reversal long goes. QKC, similar story. QSP. All right, so we're above the baseline. We've got WADA, we've got Parallax, but we don't have an initiation. So you could probably take this, but I would say we're not there yet. Tell you what, when we get this initiation, we will be breaking above this previous high. That will be the time to go long, I think. We'll put this on the watch list, but I won't be taking this on daily close. It'll probably be tomorrow or the day after. OST, not there yet, but I will take this. This is going to be a break of resistance, but we are not breaking it yet. Myth, consolidation above resistance, potential reversal long, looks strong. Seller, breaking resistance, probably going to initiate tomorrow. We've got Parallax WADA, probably going to be taking that, and it'll finally be our chance to get into seller. Seller was very bullish there for a while, if you guys remember. It was yeah, that was one of those ones that we just couldn't get into. Go. I don't know. Look over here. We got resistance, break, retest, consolidation above resistance or support. Looks good. Yo. So if you guys remember, I had previously drawn out a very provocative arrows where I said this was such a strong consolidation area while we were up here that you should not consider longing it because we were going to break back down and retest this consolidation area. And then we would break up. So see what that kind of looks like on the weekly. I don't know, guys. It could still happen the way I said to do it. So if you'd followed that advice, you would have hit a take profit one, but then you would have been stopped back out. But we're still in this area. I like it. I do like this to pick up yo-yo here. I still meant what I said. You should buy with extreme prejudice, probably right in this spot. And where's the bearish volume, huh? There's no one's selling this area. That's it. They're done selling. Data? Really? Yeah.
Somewhat.
So if you remember, altcoins have been pumping since May. What has Data been doing since May? Data's been dumping since May. But finally getting a little peek up here. I will not take this without significant confirmation.
You need a couple days on that one.
Yeah. But we could be getting there. So eyes on it. TNT. Let's get away from that. You know what? We may get a continuation signal tomorrow. It's been a lot of consolidation here. It's been strong. I mean, it's been holding strong. It hasn't been strong. As you can see, it actually broke down very far. But I don't know. This is probably a pump and dump here. But, rising waters lift all ships. So keep your eyes on it. CND. It still kind of looks like distribution. I would really like to see a retest of this area. I don't know. It could go, guys, but it's not there yet. ZIL seeing really, really waning bearish volume here. We had strong bearish volume here. This area, remember we talked about shorting this area, which had you done. Unfortunately, we never hit 300, so I did not initiate a short. But had you done, would have worked out very nicely for you. It's about a 30% move.
I really like ZIL right there.
Yeah. It's nice consolidation here. We're not seeing maybe one more tap down here. I wouldn't be surprised. One last shake out of people. Next movement upwards on ZIL. I would take that. You know what? There's probably a nice little trend line there. Keep an eye on. Let's look at lower time frame. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's.
We get a break of this trend line.
and I could see it being relatively soon.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and set alert on this trend line. We get a close above this on the daily. Then I think it might be worth longing. DNT. Ooh, looks pretty good here. Yeah, I would probably buy that. You could at least take it up to this area right here. I did not call along on this because we closed above the qualifying line. We were 1 sat above the qualifying line. And you know what? 1 sat still counts, guys. But we probably would have hit take profit 1. Because as you can see, that would have been our take profit 1 because it's the exact entry. And we did hit that spot. Oh well. 1 sat still matters, guys. Not there. Not there. Not there. Ooh. So this one, it looks like this was just more bullish than a lot of the other alts. That was not much of a pullback here. I still want to see a break of this. We don't have any confirmation really. But that does look strong.
A close up there would be pretty significant to me.
Yeah. Because really, I mean, if you look at it, this whole area is the resistance.
Becoming support.
Yeah. And then you know, we just kind of barely broke above it. We've just been consolidating in this area the entire time.
Those are the types of chart patterns that sneak up on you, and then all of a sudden they go boom.
Yeah, they get a 20% rise, and you can't get in anymore. I don't know. One more pullback, I think, to this area. One more pullback.
Ooh.
That's a signal. We can probably take this on daily close.
Yeah, that's looking good. All cylinders firing on that one.
Maybe 62 is our qualifying line. You can see. Gotta hope Altex. You know what? Even if Altex pulls above the qualifying line, we might be able to get into it. Oh, there's no Altex USDT. Oh wait, there we go. Spelling it out again. Yeah, guys, there's a signal here to take on ILTX. So go over here. Put that on our watch list. CDT, not there yet, but
No.
I do love this consolidation above resistance. Look at that. That's really clean looking.
Yeah, might as well build a shelf there.
Yeah, that is so clean looking. I would feel very comfortable grabbing along right here, especially because we're getting an exit signal on shorts. Classic reversal signals, guys. So, Lend is interesting here. Signal, we start getting a signal yesterday. You know, I think this is a signal you guys can take. You know, this is weird to me. Whenever this happens, I'm always kind of not sure what to do because we were under the baseline, but we did not break into a short. So we do not get an initiation signal here. And we kind of close inside of this no trade zone. But we weren't under the qualifying line. But we didn't have Parallax. We didn't have WADA. So I didn't take this one. You can see, I mean, you could argue that maybe this wasn't.
Couldn't that have just been I was gonna say, couldn't that have just been a continuation?
Yeah, 100%. And maybe if it had been more bullish, I would have been like, this is a strong continuation trade. Like if we had closed like here.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you still have the chance now, looking at it, where it's at. I mean, that could still be a valid trade from yesterday.
I think Lend might be worth taking because it's a DeFi coin. And for that reason alone.
Yeah. They're doing very well right now.
Yeah. Vet. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
It's time to get into Vet.
Yep.
This is going to be a signal on daily close. We're making a new high. You could probably take this up to the 150s, I would imagine. Yeah, so there's a strong consolidation area, which we're going through right here. And you can take it up to right around 150, I would say.
Yeah, that's looking good.
Yep. So let's take that at close. Fun, not there yet. No fun. Oof. So it looks like we just all we did was consolidate above resistance, and now we're continuing onwards. You could barely call that a pullback.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, I mean, I guess it's like a 20% pullback if you look at it in like pure stats, but it doesn't look like much of a pullback. TNB. Is there a TNB USDT? I don't think so. Only on Bitfinex. Nah. I don't think we're gonna get a signal on TNB, guys. It's just too strong. Coin, not there yet. Consolidation above resistance. Hot. Keeps threatening to give us a signal, but it's not there yet. Okay, guys, that's our lip coin. We finally went through all those. So, yeah, guys, altcoin market are where it's at right now. Bitcoin, boring. That's all the news is fit to print. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, well done, Alex. Excellent work. That was a quick rundown. I love it. Any final thoughts from either of you gentlemen?
I would just agree with Alex on that the plays right now are in the alt market for sure.
Yep. Alt markets are minor alts are already trending. There are pullbacks that you get in on those right now. I think I showed you which ones are probably the best choices. You always rewind if you want to take a look at those again. And as far as the major alts look like you could pick them up here, and it's not a bad place to be picking it up. I mean, man, if you look at Litecoin on the weekly, like presuming we actually do get the reversals here that it looks like we're going to get, man, what a spot.
So that's a
right there.
That does look like a good spot to buy. I mean, even if you do get a little bit more dip, I still think that's a good price.
Yeah. And where by the way is the bearish momentum? It took us 5 weeks to retrace this one candle. That is not a lot of bearish momentum, guys.
Mm-hmm. And it's waning.
Yeah, waning volume. Same with EOS. XRP. Well, I already told you guys how I feel about XRP.
XRP just keeps letting everyone down.
Yeah. Oh, and then of course, as Bitcoin on the weekly is very provocative.
Doing its thing.
Something to think about, guys. Something to think about. Be well.
For sure. All right. So once again, guys, thanks for joining us for today's Breaking Bitcoin. And my apologies, Justin could not be here again today, but we will probably be returning for a regular show on Monday. In the meantime, everyone enjoy their 4th of July weekend, and we will be back soon. Catch us in the Discord.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Cheers.